Welcome back to this mammoth of a battle that is chapter 21. And I guess Samson can try and head towards Katrina. The thing is, I feel like he's better served like up here, which is where Katrina's probably going to end up eventually anyway. Or he could go, no, I'm not going to put him near the swarm guys. He's, yeah, only one magic. He's pretty vulnerable to getting swarmed. I wonder if... how much damage do you do to she against the thing? You do quite a lot, and you have a solid hit rate too. I do still have Plum to potentially physic 2 people in one turn. I kind of want to show off the Dolharkin that we just got, or however you pronounce that. I have this weird thing in my mind of, I often just make up letters when they aren't there, like, you know, main gaunch. Come on, please get mastery, because that'll put you one step closer to using hammer and repairing stuff, but oh well. So Swarm has 81 hits, and I can potentially get like almost 50 avoid. So that could maybe, like I could maybe be safe here. Okay, Adept is nice. Adept is very nice. Your defense is weirdly low for a rider, but I mean, I suppose that makes some sense. I mean, everything around here is physical. They probably won't go for him with this equipped though, and yeah, it completely murders his attack speed. And he has 10 defense anyway. I'm just going to actually keep him with this axe for now. And believe it or not, Samson's going to be getting an even better axe soon. So yet another reason why I think Samson is amazing, because not only are his stats good and does he start with a killer axe, but he also, in this chapter, gets something really, really good. Just trying to see if maybe I can slip Sasha in an attempt to just take down the Golem Summoner before he becomes a real threat. I'll have to check his attack speed and see if Sasha can double him. I haven't mentioned this before, but like the way that the armor looks like and the way that their nostrils are rendered on the Pegasi, it kind of makes it look like they have a kind of a weird, I don't know, sort of grill over the front of their face, if that makes sense. But okay, 5 attack speed. Yeah, I need at least 10. She's definitely got that covered. Just a matter of whether or not, I mean, she's in the mountain. Nothing can get to her except these guys who she won't be able to counter because they're 3 range, which is always annoying. With only 2 swarm people potentially attacking San. And I could send Holmes in, or I could send Alicia in, but you know what I think I'm actually going to do? I'm gonna maybe flurry that one, retreat with Kanto, dance, and then get back in and take out the other one. Hopefully that should keep her relatively safe. And yeah, another reason why I brought San here is that she can talk to her mother. Doesn't give you any rewards, but it is at least a nice conversation. Okay, good. At least the strength is averaging out a little bit. More mastery is nice too, although she can use most decent things right now. You can also use a transform Katri against these enemies. Her area of effect breath is also a nice thing to use here. So this chapter is relatively long, but overall, I do think it's actually pretty fun. Like, you've got that whole, like, the dilemma of how you take down an invincible enemy, like how you stall an invincible dragon to start with, and then you also... hang on a minute. I am actually somewhat worried about the damage threat posed by that, so I'm actually going to... there's nowhere I can get into possible flurry range, though, which is a problem. She takes 10 damage. Because if all 3 of them hit her, and then both of the swarms hit her as well, then she could die, and she only has 26 evasion. But that zombie is just gonna run and get himself killed if I'm not careful. Maybe dancing for her was not a great idea. Oh well, I'm gonna go here and equip anyway. Maybe just the slim. And even though there's an enormous... Oh, the NPCs move first! I forgot that, actually. I should have known that because of the zombies, but, yeah. So yeah, Canticle was called Prelude in the Japanese version, which just makes me hear the first few notes of Prelude of Light from Zelda. That was a crit. Maybe I didn't need to be so cautious about Sun in the first place. Yeah, I would very much appreciate if they took out the Swarm guys. They're the biggest threat here. Oh, I forgot to show Temujin. I'll need to do that next turn. Yeah, they one-shot basically everything. And the other reason I just think this chapter is so fun as well is the fact that, like, we're getting to see all of these characters who we've been hearing about in the story, and they're every bit as overpowered as we thought they were. And they're just swarming all over the enemies and just obliterating them, and it's just so fun to watch that. Like, the sheer numbers of enemies, it's just not that scary when you have all these overpowered allies. Though, admittedly, the fact this is a route does mean that you have to kill every last one of reference intended, not pun, every last one of these monsters. And even with the NPC squad, that is still a pretty big ask. Now, I hope you golems move away from your summoner. Stay away from him, if you will, so that Sasha can get in and destroy him before more of you come. Oh, right, Samson has Vantage, too, so he could potentially just crit everything coming his way. Well, not everything, because he failed to crit that one already, but... Yeah, it's actually, I think this is a pretty cool chapter. This is one of my favorite chapters in the game overall. No crit there. Well, yeah, of course, it's like the law of crits. You always get them on the second attack when it doesn't matter. Then, like, in Thracia, you're actually more likely to get crits on your second attack. Now here... Yeah, Shigen has to not get hit by these. So I think 2 of them almost kills him. Okay, good. 1 dodge is nice. I still can't get over the fact that it's called Evil Worm in Japanese. Ibiru Wormu. Though I do prefer the translation Swarm from Shadow Dragon as opposed to Worm. No, it looks like an actual swarm with map animations on, but it's a single... Did that thing seriously not die? Okay, that zombie gets a posthumous, I mean, obviously, awards are always posthumous for zombies, but that zombie gets a posthumous, medal for that. For actually distracting 2 swarm guys. Seriously. The zombie summons proving to be really useful in this chapter, ironically considering that it's a map full of enemy monster summoners. And there are other summoning staves you can get later on, like you can get ogre and golem staves later. And I think you can even, oh yeah, there's a harpy staff, but it's a very rare random drop from a chest in one of Holmes' skirmishes, so... Kind of doubt that on most playthroughs you'll be using the harpy staff, but it is a possibility. Oh yeah, this area is going to be kind of full of these annoying Stoneborn, which I think they actually went with that translation from Fates. They're not range attackers, at least. Can you imagine if, like, these were actually Fate-style Stoneborn, and, like, yeah. I always kind of like the concept of the Stoneborn, because, like, they're, like, long, like, sort of siege monsters, but anyway. Yeah, if Sasha goes there, nothing can hit her. This is another reason why Pegasus Knights are just so good in general. I think... Yeah, she does 16 times 2, that's enough. But is there anything that gives her better... No, that is actually her best accuracy, unfortunately. It does kind of make sense that her skill stat is a little low, because she is, only, like, new to combat. She's not really... Never really trained for fighting. She is more of a political princess, but she's still extremely good with 11 swords, and with Paragon kind of snowballing. So yeah, nothing can reach her, so she can probably fly around and take those guys out, as well. And in this case, I can head in and... Can Holmes talk? Yeah, he can talk to Richard. I thought he could talk to Tia, but it doesn't look like he can do that. Yeah, this is the problem with gargoyles, though. Gargoyles pile up on you really quickly because it's so hard to kill them on the enemy phase. And we have even more of those swarm guys. I don't want to have to use Dullahan, but we'll see how this goes. Yeah, Alicia's pretty effective against gargoyles. Holmes can kill 1 per turn, but again, that's pretty much player phase only. Being able to actually double them is rare, but Vega can also probably do a good job of killing them on player phase, so he's maybe decent. Aha! Although, how high is their... Well, their avoid isn't that high. Just had a thought. Also, halving damage received applies to magic as well as physical attacks, and does this one-shot you? Yeah, that one-shots you, so let's try out Dolharkin. Or, yeah, Dolharkin, that's what it's actually called, I got it right. It just looks purple, but it glows at least. Okay, level... he's been getting a little unlucky with his, like, strength and skill growths for this playthrough, but they're still good enough overall. So yeah, my plan was to maybe dance for Catry and have her just breathe on this whole group of gargoyles and take them all out at once. But of course, I need to make sure that she actually does so, because if not... Oh wait, no, I can't do that, because she can't transform into a dragon and attack on the same turn. She'll at least block them slightly. And some of them are going to waste their time going for the monster. So in that case, I probably just have to transform her now. That is kind of a shame that I can't have a dragon attack in the same turn they transform, because... and I think some people pointed out that probably the reason why you can't dance for dragons is not so much because of, like, story reasons, but more just because the animation just, like... If Plum tried to do her dance animations with the gigantic dragon sprite, it just wouldn't work. So that's maybe why. I could longbow 1 gargoyle, but that's probably not worth it. Yeah, I'd rather have San actually fighting, but I want to get the I mean, I can always get the conversation with Silver later, but we'll see. Let's just do it now. Unfortunately, I don't think you can canto after talking in this game. But yeah, here's a good full look at San's promoted portrait. Because her portrait actually does change on promotion, as I mentioned earlier. She's basically been officially inducted into the Order of the Arles Black Knights, even though nobody really official approved that. This is kind of an interesting attitude for her to have. I mean, you know, you do want to avoid accusations of favoritism. So it's pretty short, but it's nice. Anyway, here's Temujin, and... so he has this same thing that Barbarossa had, 180 hits. And he also has Astra, or Dragon Saint in the Japanese version, and Sol. And he has Cap Skill and Speed, and I think that's actually Cap Strength as well. And that's also probably Cap Mastery, so... 557 score too. Yeah, these guys are just completely stupid. I don't want to look at their scores now. 350, 400, because yeah, Likud is an insane sword. Over 300, over 300. You're a little lower. You're way lower. 450, and 391, 431. So hopefully we'll be this strong by endgame. But yeah. Temujin is obviously named after, like, the actual, the original name of Genghis Khan, and, however, in the original fan translation, they they completely missed the reference, and they called him Temzin. So... yeah, it's another thing about those, like, often a lot of older fan translations just did not get, historical or mythological references at all. Like, that's part of why I'd love if I was, like, an actual, like, official localizer, because the amount of research that you have to do as well, like the fact that, for, like, the Great Ace Attorney localization, that Janet Sue had to... who's one of my idols, by the way, her and Brittany Avery, the Trails localizer. She had to do actual research on Victorian vocabulary and grammar, and just to see, like, what kinds of expressions they wouldn't be allowed to use because they weren't, like, in popular use then, and which expressions that we take for granted these days are actually American and thus wouldn't be used in Victorian London. And then, of course, they have to not go too far into Victorian speech, because they obviously want the game to be understandable to a modern audience at the same time, so... Yeah, it's just kind of interesting the amount of research you have to do, and like, I saw some of like the developer interviews for Three Houses. That's actually not localization, but that's more just general research, but like how much research on medieval like society they had to do for that game and things like that, and it's just... And Saga did a bit of research for this game too, I think. Like, there are certain like types of mythology that he looked into for how he handled the dragons in this game. And fairy tales and things like that. I think he did look at a lot of German ones. Okay, yeah, this is an annoying problem with equipping Dolharken. A lot of enemies just refuse to attack you. But it does at least make you more resilient against Swarm, hopefully. Yeah, that would have done 16 damage without Dolharken, and that would have been really, really bad. It does kind of kill your attack speed, though. It's almost like, it's not quite Firm Stance from Persona / Is Firm Stance even in Shin Megami Tensei? Maybe it's not. I know there are a lot of skills that are Persona exclusive. Like, I have not seen... In fact, Yoshitsune doesn't appear in many mainline Shin Megami Tensei games. But I know that, like, Hustle Tobi I don't think is in mainline SMT. But yeah. I'm almost crying from that. Like, a generic summoned zombie killed a gargoyle? I'm just awarding all of these posthumous medals to zombies in this map. Because they're really the MVP here. Wow, The zombie killed a gargoyle, really? Like, I'm actually almost crying. Hello there, Mr. Big Golem. But yeah, so what I meant about the Firm Stance analogy is that's a skill from Persona that makes it so that you take half damage, but you can't dodge. Yeah, you're very unlikely to dodge. Oh wow. Rip Hero Zombie. Oh well. Well, I mean, again, rip anyway because he was already dead, but still. You know what? I wonder if these guys are like some of them. Maybe we're summoning the corpses of past adventurers who died here. That'd be kind of morbid, but at the same time, it would actually be some nice vindication for them. Getting to redeem themselves against the Witch Dragon and against these hordes of monsters. Okay, she can double that one at least. Gargoyles have low enough HP that usually if you do double them, they do tend to die, but it is kind of, a pain. Oh, also, yeah, Dolharken kind of kills Samson's ability to use Vantage as well because of, yeah, I probably need to physic him too. But, like, you can see how much he would have been taking, if he didn't have that. Oh, these poor fools who attack Rich's squad. It's just kind of hilarious. So yeah, I wonder if there was like a Senate and Tier game planned and you would have actually played this chapter from their perspective. Of course, the downside of this happening is that, well, we have this music back. I have an idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that she can't Kanto because she only has 7 move. Like, I don't want her ending up suffering death by awesomeness to these golems. But she doesn't actually one-round them unless she adepts or crits, so maybe. I'm just trying to see if she can finish off one of these guys with the Leaven Sword. Yeah, 20, she doubles. That should kill them. Of course, I could all... Nope, I don't want to pile them you. If I pile them, though... 20 attack versus 5 defense. I think both of them actually kill. Yeah, I've got the same amount of attack either way, but in that case I'd rather use the Pylum because Leaven Swords are a bit more valuable. And this also means that she'll have much less chance of suffering death by awesomeness from the golems. I may have already said this, but like, it just reminds me of the Egg Golem from, and it being introduced via boss subtitles as Egg Golem the Golem. And she only goes up to 30 now, doesn't it? Yeah, she only goes up to 30. I have to use a second occult book to get her up to 40, but it's probably somewhat worth it to actually get her to 40 because she can reach that level. Yeah, I really, really want that Shadow Mage to die. But yeah, he's not gonna finish off that monster yet. Catry would do pretty well against those enemies over there. Can I... Oh, if I Fierce Breath, though, that actually gets Samson. If I move Shigen away, though at the same time I like Shigen being on the front lines as well, I'd sort of like to get Catry over there so she can just use her breath on these golems, even though it probably won't do like that well. Okay, yeah, Shigen only doubles the 9 attack speed ones. Well, with the S-Dog, he actually will double most of them, because it's a pretty light sword. -5. Yeah, I do enough with that. Because again, gargoyles have such little HP that usually if you do double them, they will die. It's just that, it's very, very hard to double them. I'm a little worried about Catry reverting when I least expect it, but if I Fierce Breath, oh, that'll get the Ogre, though. Which will actually kill it if it hits, but that would mean that I have to move Samson away. What are Samson's risk of... yeah, these guys all have like 20 attack. They do 10 damage to him each, and he might actually kill them on counters. I just want to... I don't like this swarm guy existing at all. Although, hang on a minute. If I were to Fierce Breath here... No, yeah, Samson going back one space would still put him in range. So I'd rather do this, maybe? Yeah, I'll go for this. Okay, one down, and Gargoyle gone too. That gives me a bit of breathing room. Oh, okay. I could also take out the Gargoyle Summoner, which might actually be a better use of Samson. I do double him. I'll definitely need to physic him though, but the Gargoyle Summoner being gone is certainly a good thing. Unless he dodges. Okay, good. No more Gargoyle Summoner. Still have the Ogre Summoner, but the Ogres are definitely the least threatening things here. This guy is like extremely dead right now. Oh yeah, I probably have to physics Shigen as well. Oh, I'm an idiot. I mean, at least the golems only have 4, they only have, 3 moves. They really are armored, monsters, but, uh-oh, Samson may actually be in trouble here. I do kind of trust him, admittedly. Oh, although there's going to be, like, more ogres coming. They only do, like, 5 damage to him each, and, their accuracy is kind of crap against him. I'm just... Oh, my own... Hang on a minute. No, I don't have a second physics staff, do I? Because Plum could use physic. I don't know if it's like that good of a thing to have, because she, you know, should be spending most of her time dancing. But anyway, this conversation right here, this is one that you really want to do. So yeah, this is yet another example of this kind of thing in this game. It's a similar situation to Plum. So we don't actually have, like, the full backstory on these two just yet. This is why Alicia's relationship with Marouge is kind of weird. And honestly, Alicia's backstory is really interesting, because it is something that makes her a very flawed character, but it's something that you don't see all that often. You can kind of gather the basics of it from this. Also, remember how they said that only 2 copies of this were ever made, and the other one was Sage Alfred's? Yeah, this is the second Sylphid tome. So I had this before from bringing Marouge to Holmes's party. And we have the second one here. So Sylphid's an amazing tome, so it's always good to get another one of them. I suppose I can put away your regular Thunder, she never uses that. So we have 2 Sylphids now. Later on in the game, though, they're probably both going to go to the same person, and it's not Alicia. So yeah, what I was saying about Alicia is it's really, really interesting, her kind of backstory and that whole aspect to her. In that, like, we can kind of gather a little bit from what was being said there, but basically, we don't know the full details, but Alfred definitely sort of was around a lot when Alicia was growing up with sort of her mother. And I think Alicia spent a lot of her young years thinking that Alfred was her father, when actually he's not, and he really had a wife and 2 children back home. And we'll see more later, but it's basically, it's about when, remember how we heard that Alfred kind of disappeared for a while and was presumed dead? Well, yeah, he kind of disappeared fighting the Witch Dragon and was left here for a little while. And I'm not going to have Holmes attack because that guy's going to die to the NPCs next turn anyway. Yeah, he fought the Witch Dragon and disappeared. Well, that was when he met Alicia's mother, who kind of saved his life, and because of that, she fell in love with him. Like I said, this game loves the rescue romance trope. And again, because of that whole thing, Alicia's relationship with Alfred is this really interesting one that, again, like, I don't see that often in fiction. It's this relationship of, you're not my father, but I wish you were. And yeah, it's just kind of fascinating to me. Like, again, you don't see that kind of relationship dealt with often. And that's why she has a little bit of lingering issues towards Marouge and possibly Mel as well, even though, you know, she shouldn't hate them at all for, like, the situation. But the fact that she does, you know, take a while to reconcile those feelings shows that she's kind of very human and flawed, and Alicia is interesting overall. Apparently she's one of the few characters in this game to get fan art, and that's probably for other reasons than her backstory, but it is really unique. I haven't seen a backstory like hers done very often. Mostly because I feel like it would be very hard to handle without the character coming across as very unsympathetic, but I think they do handle it decently well in this game. It's kind of a thing, because I have always felt that this game doesn't exactly portray female characters that well overall, I think. There aren't a lot of female characters in this game that I think are written particularly well. Sasha, I think, is decent. I think Sasha's pretty good. Oh, that's a problem. Yeah, Sasha's good. I actually think Alicia's like one of the decent ones overall. But, I mean, I'll talk about this more later. There are a lot of female characters in TearRing Saga who come across as really naive and stupid, like Katri and Lyria and, there's a few that I'll get into in more detail later. And a lot of some of the really interesting female characters are also not in your main party either. Like Silva and, Rashea and, oh, that's really bad. I was afraid that might happen. Okay, if this misses, she's fine. But if this hits, then she does die. Okay, good. Yeah, that was probably not... Maybe I should have killed the swarm guy instead of having Samson attack the, you know, this dude. I don't know how many uses this hand axe has. If it, like, I don't think it's close to running out at all, but, like, it'd be interesting if it ran out and then he auto-equipped Dullharken and that actually saved him. But we'll see. So here's the other thing that I don't like. I have not seen a Gargoyle crit yet. And Gargoyle crits can be scary. Because they go from being no threat to you whatsoever to suddenly being a huge threat. I think Samson's fine, though. Like, even if both of these guys hit, he's fine. Because he's just that good. How close is Katrina? Okay, yeah, that made up for the last level up. Like, Samson's, like, pretty bulky as well as strong. He is really just Nolan 0.0. It's kind of a shame that San hasn't really got to do all that much in this map. She's being a little bit overshadowed by her mother here, but... I mean, she did some things. I'm being a bit overly cautious with her because in my test playthrough, she actually died because of all the swarm guys. But anyway, Holmes can talk to Richard now. Okay, no, Richet is there. I thought that was a gargoyle. But yeah, no, it's a little too reddish to be a gargoyle. Holmes' banter with this guy is great. And that's all he's gonna say. Oh well. Yeah, Katrina's there. So, yeah, Samson is close. And yeah, Holmes' party tends to get very, very strong very quickly. Okay, oh, wait. If I, Fierce Breath there, then she gets hit. And I also... Oh, I gotta remember that I can't actually... Because that won't actually kill them. Okay, as much as I don't like the Swarm guy being there... I don't have a Physic user. I can't safely have you... Or... Oh no, if she gets... 16 attack... Wait a minute, let me just check this. I have... She dies exactly, because of course she does. I could, on the other hand, just take a pot shot with a Levin Sword or a Pylum, and then... That guy dies to the breath anyway. That guy's probably also going to die. Let's see. If I Levin Sword... that one. I'm kind of hoping for Adept here, because that will kill it. I'm just really worried that Cantry's going to revert. Oh, I got Adept. Good. Because that should actually kill it. Yeah, that'll definitely kill it, unless it dodges. The way these things' heads look is really weird. It's like their heads are triangle shape. They're like almost literal pyramid heads. And I do get to Kanto, don't I? Yeah, I get to Kanto. So, goodbye, everybody. Oh, now Katri can't attack the middle one with the... Oh, but she will be able to get the Swarm guy with this. And that's probably a better trade. Let's do this. Please don't dodge Cultist. Okay, that's one dead, one weakened, and another dead. Okay, that's good. That's good. The Golem Summoner is gone, and there's a Cultist down here who's still alive for some reason. And let's see. Oh, I thought you were San for a second, but no, that's Silver. Well, I mean, I was saying that San wasn't really contributing all that much, but she can do this at least. At the same time, though, that guy is going to die to the NPC. Although, if I get rid of most of the things, then the NPC is going to crash into the Stoneborn, and I would definitely appreciate that. Do I just one-round you even without Flurry? I do, but there's no real reason not to use Flurry just in case. I mean, I have a 100% hit rate, this is totally fine, but at the same time, like, again, no reason not to use Flurry here. And that is you down. I really need to remember to get the save staff out of the convoy, because that was really annoying, that I'm like, oh, I have the save staff, I could use the save staff, and then, yeah. Yeah, these guys are super, super slow. Oh, she's probably going to go for that guy if I don't finish him off. Kind of wish Samson had Wrath right about now. That would be fun. But, sadly, he does not. Don't even know if that'll do it. I probably have to use Iron or Steel. That will not do it. That'll be 14. But his accuracy is still bad. Oh, and I get Adept anyway. Yeah, Shiken is actually still crazily good in combat, even with his strength being screwed. Because, yeah, you don't need a whole ton of strength, too. He's only, like, 3 points behind Raphael, who has, like, ridiculously good strength. For this game, at least. Samson should be in range of Katrina by next turn, but I can always just hand axe anyway. Do I? Yeah, that actually doubles, doesn't it? So yeah, this should be alright, unless I miss both of them for some reason. I'm still really nervous about potential gargoyle crits, because I've had that happen sometimes. And we just have left... Oh, right, Alicia's down there. Not that she's really going to be doing much for the rest of the map. Oh, actually... Because Plum's not really helping anyone else right now, so I may as well dance for her and get her closer to that cultist that slipped through the cracks. I don't know, like I said before, I still really like this chapter overall. It's actually a pretty decent one. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for that guy to move a little bit closer because I'm not gonna go in his range. In fact, does he one-shot her? No, he doesn't. 22. But still, I keep putting flags because I pressed the triangle button on empty spaces. So, let me just check conditions here. Wow, look at that. Like, look at all those peaks and valleys, highs and lows there for the enemy. What's the type of wave that the whole, that our strength resembles whenever we transform with Katri? It's a type of wave, one that kind of goes up and down. It's like a binary sort of wave pattern. I mean, like the kind of wave that binary signals make. Okay, yeah, the rest of the enemies here are not long for this world. In fact, this might be the fastest I've ever cleared this map, and it's probably because I moved Sasha in to take out the golem summoner as quickly as possible, because if you let the golems flood this map, then they really do flood the map, and then things get annoying. I mean, Katri could take out that one, or she could use Fierce Breath and take out that guy and damage the other one at the same time. I guess, technically speaking, you could probably try and hit NPCs with Fierce Breath, but that's probably a dumb idea. And again, remember, it is route and open chest, so even if you route the enemies, you can still get conversations that you're missing out on. And apparently, Raffin has a conversation in this map. So, yeah, that's an actual, like, thing you can do. Like, I think it's, like, the one thing that Raffin has from... Huh, that tile is counted as a cave, not a mountain, but... That is really bizarre, actually. It's like it's supposed to be a cave entrance, but I can't see the cave entrance. Maybe they just forgot to put it there? But yeah, some of the tiles are, like that... The one over here being a cave, that makes sense, but I can't see the caves in the... I guess I can see the cave entrance there, but... I think, yeah, there's one more cave down here. And the enemies can move on the caves, but not the rest of the area. Do I get rid of the Shadow Lancer or this... how much does Dire Thunder do to you? Actually does 1 round. Although, I can actually get rid of both of them if I use Plum. Yeah, still puts a one-shot, may as well go with that over the other, and also, you know, makes sense with her trying to use Alfred's thing, even though her relationship with Alfred is not exactly the best right now. This is definitely one of the maps that I was looking forward to the most when I decided to record TearRing Saga, so I hope you're enjoying watching me play this. And yeah, I have actually seen screenshots of people beating the Witch Dragon, but I think it just causes Gwen Chaos to spawn just like the normal story, so it doesn't really do anything, and there's really no reason why you should do it, because it's just, yeah, really dumb that you would even sort of think to do that. That does exactly double, but just to be absolutely sure, gonna go ahead and do that, because that's 50 damage total. Have some thunder! Oh, and a crit too, for good measure. Alicia is pretty, like again, she doesn't really get many places with her bad movement, and her stats are not the best, but she is still, like, decent enough for one-rounding a lot of things. Okay, so where... Are you kidding me? Katrina's all the way down there? That is frustrating. At least Samson has Frontiersman, so he's going to catch up to her eventually. But Samson really needs to talk to her, and he can talk to Temujin as well, but he's like on the opposite side of the map, which is just kind of an enormous pain right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. I should be able to safely canter away if I do this. Because I don't have a physics staff right now. I don't really have any healers at all right now, because Plum has no staves. And I feel like the reason why they give you such a low deployment count for this map is because of all the broken NPCs that show up. But so I feel like Mel and Marouge should be able to talk to Alfred. So I'm gonna have to maybe keep a save file and try and see if I can deploy them for this map. And then also there's some other people who can have some conversations here too, I think. Like, again, I want to try the Pegasus sisters talking to Verna. And we may, I'll just say, we may be recruiting some of these characters later. Or we may not. So yeah, we'll see. We may also be able to attain some of these weapons, and we may not be able to attain some of these weapons later, so... This kind of reminds me of the A Taste of Power TV trope, where they give you, like, something really overpowered that, like, you will get access to later as a bit of a taste of, like, the kind of power you'll have access to later in the game, as the trope name implies, and I think that is all enemies dead, isn't it? Yep, no enemies left. So now I just have to wait and get the last few conversations. Yeah, you can't talk to anyone because, like, Yoda isn't here or anything like that. So we are missing some of the legendary heroes. Yeah, I think San, Alfred, and Silver just stay down the... not San. Silver, Alfred, and Natha just stay down the bottom and just form a bit of a wall around her. Yeah, kind of wonder what you guys are doing right now, but, well, I think... Okay, good. Katrina did move back up, so this, you really want to do this. This is actually one of the main reasons why you want to recruit Samson. So, we didn't really have much of an indication of this before, but it was kind of heavily implied with how he was talking to Alicia and his connection to Ariel. She is Samson's fiancée. And we get a Brave Axe. So, yeah, that is even more insane. I can't want to keep that Killer Axe. For now, I'm going to put Dolharkin back in the convoy, because it's only situationally useful, whereas the Brave Axe, 90 uses, by the way. Its weight is at least, oh, it's only one more weight than the Killer Axe, which is pretty light, and, yeah, it's just like... although whether you keep it with Samson or whether you decide to give it to Runen next split and give it to Raphael, that's a little bit of a dilemma. Okay, now I can get this conversation. The mission? What mission? Well, that's vague. But that's the reason why I wanted to show that conversation. Samson is actually way more important than he might seem. And that's all I'll say for now. And I think that's every conversation that I can get with the current group that I have, so let's open up this chest. And there it is, the Darkron, the treasure that we were seeking. And garbled Japanese text, I don't know why. Like, I don't know what that was supposed to mean, if there was meant to be, like, anything in the Japanese version or anything, but yeah. Yeah, Richie does some great lines. Maybe just, you know, all of the areas that they conquered just didn't have good defenses. I mean, yeah, as long as Gwen Chaos isn't around, they're weak, but with him... So it looks like Senate and Tia are going to go their separate ways here, even though their parties temporarily met up. The other people. Yeah, we were kind of just the random NPCs that, like, this chapter was really these guys' story, and it was an NPC protection mission from their perspective. And so, the off-screen Fire Emblem game continues, as everyone just kind of combines into one sprite at the very top of the screen, and all disappears at once. Yeah, multiple of them are royalty, in fact. And yes, there's that line. I'm thinking. Shut up so I can think. So Holmes has figured out exactly who Tia is. And they're going to be heading out to the Earth Shrine, but that's none of our business, because for now, we're going to have to get out of Lita Valley in these caves. Because we've got our treasure, and that's all we came here for. Blood's kind of become our home base. And the good news is that you automatically head through those skirmishes in the caves this time.